You're listening to WKDW Radio 97.5 and KDWRadio.com, broadcasting from the Bishop West or the Remax Palm Real Estate Mobile Tower right here in Northport, Florida. Everything kind of went haywire just in the last couple minutes. So I wanted to let everybody know we had everything worked out, and then everything kind of flipped. And I think we're live on the air. And I have Cheyenne, who is going to get her daughter at school. So she's going to be quiet here in a few minutes. But Cheyenne, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne, lifetime resident of Northport. Um, hi, not to be awkward. Hello, everybody.
So I brought Cheyenne on because uh, just that in between that 30 and 40 or 35, 30 and 35 age range, a different point of view for the listening audience than normal. Uh, KDW radio is probably the average age is up there a little bit, but with the Facebook page and social media as it is, we do draw some younger generation. So I thought I would have her on and kind of highlight a little bit about what her thoughts are with the younger generation in our city. So I guess I'll start out with a quick question on why do you think the youth, not youth, the younger adults in our city don't get involved with matters at City Hall?
Some of them, I would say, lack of understanding because the way the stuff is said and versus the way the stuff is written could get a little wishy-washy. So depending upon how much time they truly have to invest in research, number one. Um, in my personal opinion, it's boring sometimes. So maybe just it's just not that appealing, but it is important. Um, and then also just a lot of people are busy. They're working. A lot of people have to leave Northport to work. I mean, that's getting better, but at the same time, people are exhausted. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into running a city. So people don't really understand all the logistics too. And sometimes just not willing to, I don't know, ask more questions. Or sometimes when you get told no, don't always just take that as a definitive. You can go ask other people in the same city and get different answers sometimes, don't just let that stop you because you're being told no or because you don't understand something.
Do you feel like that the city is reaching out to your generation with the apps and different things like that? We don't have a true um, media drive here. We don't have our own TV station and our community radio station. We're making a solid effort, but it's a little different than what you guys, the younger generation, are listening to and gravitating to. Um, can you talk about that maybe and how the city could maybe better connect with the younger adults?
Um, well, obviously, just being involved in the community at the events and stuff, just being present, but also, um, I mean, as far as social media, I can't really talk. I can't work most of it. So, but I do get the sense of watching the videos and the interactive stuff. I always love seeing when I think it was either Public Works or the Utilities Department, which should be coming this time, but like once a year they do a little jingle song and you see all the workers coming together dancing to Mariah Carey's Christmas song. And it's just like, that's like home to me. It's like, the workers getting to enjoy it a little bit and have some spirit. That's a little bit of part, I think. So in my opinion,
So
I
do
would
you,
say maybe more interactive stuff like that.
so do you think that you're different than most of the younger generation because you're not maybe as in depth into the social media side?
um maybe, I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist person, so I mean, I don't want everything all over online and sit, like I want to go out into the community. So I'm more hands on, I would say, maybe, than just snap a picture and let's go. I enjoy connecting with the people while we're out and about. So I think that the city's gotten pretty progressive over the years, as far as like daddy daughter dances and stuff, things like that. I've seen in the recent years, which I didn't have that kind of stuff growing up. So I do feel like we're getting there, but like where is the need? Where would we even host certain things? Those kind of things.
Okay. What are some of the highlights about our city of Northport that you like as a young parent?
As a young parent, I would definitely say the community there is just like I don't know how to explain it, but I guess I don't know. You don't have to be perfect. You don't always have to be walking around like you got your crap together. I mean, like we're real people and life happens and people are usually pretty understanding and friendly.
Do
You
you
know.
think our Parks and Rec system is? Do your kids play at the Parks and Rec area?
When we're around those areas, yeah, I don't have a park like right next to my house. But yeah, I mean, they utilize the parks. We used to do picnics at the park. I mean, I love the parks. Anything to get them off video games.
Do you do anything, yeah, with like the poinsettia parade and different things like that when they happen at City
Don't get
Hall?
me started on the poinsettia parade. I'm not ready yet. Let me get through Thanksgiving. There's too many floats. Too many floats.
Yeah, well, I think there's even more so this year.
Every
Uh,
year it grows, I swear. That thing doubles and triples in size.
well, and there is some importance to coming back to City Hall with it all too because of the festival at night.
Yeah, I will admit I was not a big fan when they changed that because it was changed and Dallas White Park was what it was for like my whole childhood, teenage years, and then all of a sudden they switched it to City Hall and I'm like, well, that's on a main road. How's that going to work? And they made it work. I mean, they make it work. So it's still a work in progress because yeah, it gets busy. People get flustered around that time. But honestly, when they close down that road and that parade starts, the rest of the world stops, and we are a community, and it's beautiful, in my opinion.
And going back to City Hall, you've got the Kiwanis who has their Christmas cards up, and that gives an extra 8,000, 8 to 10,000 viewers
Hmm.
when the festival goes down Sumter and turns in at City Hall and goes into the festival. That's another whole another level of viewership and participation back in the city on the green.
Oh, well, and it gets people into the Mullen Center as well too, because they in past years were turning that into like a little winter wonderland as well. So you had stuff going on at City Hall, City Center Green, and then also over there as well.
How important is that as a parent for you to
Oh
have
my
stuff like that?
gosh. It helps me to have my sanity back a little bit. As crazy as it can be out there with like, all the sensory stuff, at the end of the day, they're tired after that. They ran around, they were around a ton of other kids too. They usually find a bunch of people from school too, so they're reconnecting with their friends. I actually get to meet some of the people that they're talking about in their stories, meet the parents too. So I mean, it's a great thing to have.
And that's not the only thing that happens. You talked about Thanksgiving. What's your passion around Thanksgiving time?
The food, a little bit of everything. I like my varieties, so when you put a variety in front of me and I can try them all, I'm there. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, and we're a little different here in the city of Northport. And Mr. Pete says, I can see a bright future for you in local politics.
For you?
No, for you.
Oh yeah, right. I would have to stay awake for the meetings. You're funny. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, really, maybe one day. I don't know. I have had thought about that before because I did. Um, I happened to be looking through older stuff, and I found out that my nana actually used to work for the city clerk, and I used to intern for the city clerk when I was younger. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes right now either. Definitely,
Well,
maybe not the political side of it. Like I could do the office stuff and
but you're young enough right now that you've got a lot going on as it is.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
No, I'm
things
too busy
change
for
over
that.
time too, so perspectives change.
Yeah.
Uh, you've got your plate full with family and different things going on, and we're in the holiday seasons, but we're also not in rainy season. And uh,
Yes.
we
Thank
talked
God.
about this earlier today, and I know that Elena is all over this too. But you know, let's talk about the mosquito side of things because you're outside a lot. You're doing things outside. You're involved that way. What's your concern over the mosquitoes as a younger parent?
Well, first of all, as a young person, it was just like, wow, these are really annoying. And wow, they're very frequent. And wow, there's no getting rid of them. And then I learned that, okay, well, the city of Northport, through your taxes and whatever, there is the mosquito management in Sarasota, which back in my day, it used to be mosquito control. And so the reason why I think it's funny now is that they call it mosquito management. It's because it's like the mosquitoes manage that department. There's nothing else that gets done for it other than, you call, you complain. They'll maybe come and set up a trap if you're lucky. But I mean, I don't know how much time you want me to spend on this because I could go hours. But hold on one second. Thank you. Have a good day. Um,
Yeah, to pick her
so
daughter up. So
yeah, sorry, real life. But yeah, so I mean, like basically, so yeah, it's a part of your taxes. It's like it's just like recycling, the garbage and stuff. Like that's all built in, and so basically, I had this problem when I moved in, and it's been an ongoing problem. Been there for almost 4 or 5 years now in that same area, and I've gone back and forth this whole time with these guys, and I'm getting nowhere. It's frustrating.
what do you find that's the biggest concern that you have with where you live
Well,
as
I
far as
live
the mosquitoes go? Is that because of standing water? Is that because you're near a canal?
no. There's like a drainage ditch like on the end of the block, but no. But I was told from them that Northport is on a wetland, so we're just gonna have to get used to it because basically that's just where they breed, that's where they live. It's kind of our problem because of where we chose to live, realistically. And so basically, if I want to fix this problem myself, I need to go get my own fogger and go ahead and start spraying myself in the area or call a company, um, which people may not realize, but like, up north, when you move down here, you don't have to cover that in Northport. Like my aunt in New Jersey, she has to call and have a guy come out every few months and he will fog her yard specifically. But she's never once been told, here, grab your own fogger and just start spraying away. Like that's kind of dangerous as a parent perspective and an animal owner. Like I don't want to just be randomly spraying chemicals into the air. Um, but yeah, it's an ongoing problem. They refuse to fix it. Not enough people. They say that they have 5 stars there because nobody in Northport complains. And the problem is, you know, being told no. We get told in Northport no when we complain that they're not going to do anything about it. We might get a courtesy spray, but realistically, they've got their sprays for the year, and all we can expect is the spray planes, which is 10 times harsher chemicals than what I'm talking about. So it's frustrating because you get told no, and then they continue to spray Sarasota, they continue to spray Inglewood, they can spray Venice all day long, and Okay.
Do you know if we have service down here?
In Northport?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mosquito management. But the problem
Well,
is
do
they
you
don't
know if they're spraying it down here enough?
allegedly they do. Allegedly I would like to know all the spray records, honestly, because allegedly they do. They have the guy coming in all the time. I've personally seen the guy in town and followed him around to see what he does, and I never once saw him get out of his truck. I have seen him get on the interstate right before like noon when the day's done for him and he's heading back to Sarasota. But to me, it's crap because Northport has two techs, two full-time techs allegedly, and that's what covers our whole landmass in our wetlands out of whatever staff that they have, which is allegedly 10 people. But again, they just like to throw a bunch of big words at you and tell you that essentially it's your problem, you're in a wetland, you chose to live here.
So as far as like the youth are concerned,
Oh,
you've got the
I'm in
younger
between
generation.
two schools. I'm in between two schools and a fire department. I hear those guys out all night long. You can't tell me that those guys aren't getting bit. Our paramedics on their way to go help somebody. If they get infected on their way, that's not fair to our citizens over something we can prevent. That's my problem, is the preventable part. We have the spray techs, we have the chemicals, we just have a lazy guy who just drives around town, wastes our taxpayers' dollars, which I hear a lot about is our wasted taxpayers' dollars from all over Northport. But yeah, it's like those things that really do make a difference that are, there are mosquito-borne illnesses, that people are hospitalized for. And there's symptoms out there that people wouldn't even realize that, oh, maybe that is from a mosquito, you know? I don't know.
What
I could go
what
on for hours about my debate with them because it's been literally all year I have fought back and forth. This year, I went deep. I went and visited them at their lab. The lab is cool. It's great. They're getting a multi-million-dollar brand new fancy lab. There was nothing wrong with the one they got going, but hey, they need more time at the lab to study the mosquitoes because that's all they're doing is collecting them and nothing. Like
what what do you think that the citizens of Northport need to do in order to bring
they
more?
need to call mosquito control and put in a complaint on their website. And then when they say that they're sending out a tech, make sure that they go check their property and make sure that they actually have a trap on their lot. And if they do, make sure that it's set up properly. And then ask for your trap count. So this way you don't just get shoved under the log and then, oh, hey, how did we do? Give us 5 stars for our satisfaction. It you have to call, you have to stay on them, you have to keep telling them how annoying it is. And even then they're still going to tell you no.
So do you have a trap where you live?
I've had multiple traps come out and they've
What
pulled hundreds out of my trap, and that's not enough because you need thousands. You need thousands in a 2-hour span. So people have to literally take on thousands of mosquitoes all the time for no reason.
so they're actually there is a count that they're trying to obtain, and once they obtain that count, have you
It's
asked them
not
to
even,
go with
it's not per count though. Okay. So they take your trap and then they'll divide it by each type of mosquito. So it's not even a whole number of mosquitoes that's in your trap to cause an irritation. It's just, okay, so we have 100 of this type, we've got 40 of this type. You don't reach the threshold, so we can't spray. You need 1,000 of this specific type in that trap for us to spray, which is ridiculous. Why do I have to justify you doing your job daily? It hasn't gotten done. They've made many excuses. They said it was the water lettuce from City of Northport. Went to City of Northport. Hey, they're saying it's the water lettuce. They sent me back to mosquito management. Hey, mosquito management, still a problem. They say it's not the water lettuce. So then they changed that, and it just went on and on and on. No, call Northport Stormwater. That's who's got to take care of it. Call Northport Stormwater. No, this is a mosquito issue. Call mosquito control. I've talked to uh, the people in charge. I've talked to other mosquito controls in the area. Like Charlotte County doesn't have these problems. They're out backpacking all the time. They don't have to call to complain. I mean,
Have you,
one of my favorite parts about Sundays is going to Punta Gorda and walking during sunset. You know why? Because I can't do that in Northport. So Sundays, when I go make a trip out of town, I can walk in the sunset and not get
because
eaten alive.
because of the lack of
Mhm.
the mosquitoes?
Yeah, it's not a problem over there. And I'm literally walking on the water where I'm at. I'm like over in the harbor, walking around. So you can't tell me it's because we're covered in water.
Well, we do have here's the funny thing is we have 80 miles of canals and we have lots of ponds in Northport. So we have a lot of water in Northport, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a lot of land that is swampy kind of land. That are, even in Lakeside Plantation, we've got some areas that aren't wide open to water. It's really a marshy type situation, which I believe would be the ideal breeding ground.
Oh, yeah, but you know what they do? They go over to those retention ponds, and that guy will dump a bunch of mosquito fish in there, and job well done. Those mosquito fish are taking care of the eggs. That's what they're there for.
Mom, I got me a post-it.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, she can say hi. Hello.
Do you have any questions for the real youth of Northport?
Yeah, this guy. So, what do you think of the Parks and Rec system here in Northport?
The parks, like the.
They're cool.
What would you like to see more of in Northport?
I'd like to see places that like people who are disabled can actually go on the things so that they're not missing out.
Say that again.
I want the people who are disabled to have a place to hang out and have a place to like have fun in the park.
We actually do. We have a park for them, believe it or not, and we do a really good job.
I've been there.
But what would you like to see in the city of Northport as far as new businesses that were more?
You could dream of anything. What would you want?
I'd want a place that could actually do their job and.
Oh my God. No. No, as a kid, like if they could have a roller skating ring, a bowling alley.
Oh, probably like something like that.
How about Chuck E. Cheese or
place.
Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese?
Like a big arcade would be.
An arcade.
Yeah, there you go.
And a place that you could do like rollerblading, roller skating.
Maybe even ice skating.
Maybe ice skating.
Yeah, we could get a Northport
That's like
hockey
here in Northport,
team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to go all the way out to do like that kind of stuff.
What's your favorite thing to do in Northport?
Probably like I'd like to chill and go to cool, open, wide places that serve food. Because I'm big.
Oh my gosh. You got Thanksgiving on the mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so more food. Oh, okay. So like the food truck festivals.
Yeah.
More stuff.
Yeah, that would be fun. With some live music.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
With some like chill, calm, good music.
Okay, so that leaves Taylor Swift out of it. I think we're good.
Good, that's perfect. So as far as what you like to do in Northport, though, how old are you?
I'm 10.
So you're 10 years old. What is there a favorite park that you have, or a favorite
Probably.
sport?
It's the Dallas Park.
Dallas
White? Yeah. That one's pretty good.
How about, have you been over to the new City Hall
Yeah.
park that's over there?
Yeah.
I know
I
we just upgraded the stuff there. Do you like that?
Yeah, I like the colors.
Okay. So
It's very bright and it brings attention to it.
are you doing any sports?
I want to do football, tackle football.
Ooh. I don't know, Shy. You ready for that?
She's already done it before. Both of my kids are small, so I hate seeing them get knocked around. I'm like the worst mom on the sidelines. Like, oh, that's my baby. So, I'm never ready for that, but I can't stop them.
So what do you think? What do you think is the most impactful thing that's kept you here in Northport, um, and had you start a family?
Honestly, I ask myself that question all the time. It's like it keeps growing and getting bigger, and it's like it's not the same small town that I grew up in, but in a sense, it's kind of like it's better in some ways, but also I do miss it in other ways, if that makes sense. It's like bittersweet. I don't know. But the biggest thing for me would be just the community support that, like, you could knock the North Porters down, but we're going to continue to get back up and we're going to keep fighting. So we got heart in Northport. So I don't know. It's just there's something different. I leave here, I travel all over the place, but I got to come back. It's like I've had enough. I need to go back home. I don't know what it is, honestly.
If you as a parent could add another business
To
that would help
Northport.
you with your kids, what type of business would it be?
Wait, hold on. It froze. As a parent, if it would help me, what?
What type of business would you like to see in Northport that would be more kid oriented for you as a parent?
To be honest, so two things. All right. I would say expand the art center because we do have an art center already, but I don't know where they stand right now. The art center is always great for kids, interactive. But something that we don't have that other places do have that I really like would be children's hands-on museums. We don't have anything like that, and it's literally just like they have a little grocery store set up, and the kids can go in and they do all their shopping,
Right.
and
I
like
like
there
that.
was one that they had a cow, like a life-size cow, and these kids were going through and milking the cow. There was like a giant spaceship. I mean, and it was all ages. We had, I think she's 15, 14 or 15, down to like a 4-year-old with us, and every last one of them took a nap after that. They all loved it. So I would say if we have something like that where the kids can go to and really just like bounce off the walls and then go home and go to sleep after that.
So what's your difficulty with childcare?
Oh my gosh. It's expensive. It really,
The prices go up like every year.
well, not only do the prices go up, here's the thing. As far as Northport, like I don't have to deal with like daycare like I used to, but the quality of it all and the price. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're working 2, 3 jobs to pay for this daycare. And then while you're at work, you're getting these phone calls or like you're having to sign incident reports after you pick them up. And then you got this immense guilt that like, that's the only place that you could take them. So it might have changed since I've had to do the daycare stuff, but I just remember how expensive it was. The quality of the care wasn't the best. um it was just kind of like the kids were being babysat the whole time, and so they weren't really like hands-on learning like they should be.
We just had a Northport Ford. I'm part of that organization too, and we're trying to get more of the younger generation, the younger parents involved with that group. Could you see yourself helping us with getting the younger parents in a roundtable discussion that might lead down the path of somebody even opening up a business?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool
Having,
because I used to do the youth advisory board, so I used to advise at like I think he was a little bit older than Evelyn, and we used to advise the commission on like, hey, like we need stuff to do as kids. So yeah, if there's any way I could help, I would love to put my 2 cents in, whether it goes anywhere.
Well, I definitely can say it's going to go somewhere because we're definitely having the discussion. We had about 8 to 10 people at Shannon Staub the other day, who are all full of a lot of knowledge and also a lot of education, that they really kind of have feeders to fulfill teacher need in those environments. It's really about getting businesses and parents together and like focusing on that need for that specific child care range. I would love to sit down and talk with you more about that, and maybe pick your brain a little bit on how we could connect with some of these younger, and I hate to say younger, but you
Well, yeah,
know,
because according to her, I'm old, so I don't
well,
know if I fit.
yes, you're in that generation of you're bringing up kids, and what kind of makes you different is you are from here originally.
Mhm.
So
Born and raised.
it don't have too many of you like that.
Yeah, true.
Because we're very transient
I've
here.
always told people I'm one of a kind. Yeah,
I know that to be the case.
thank you.
Yes. And here's the thing with you being here all your life, you kind of hit a few things that other people hit too, which is, oh my gosh, Northport is changing.
Mhm.
You didn't say it's changing for the worse. It's just changing.
I mean, traffic sucks, but that's everywhere anymore,
It's not going to get better either.
Yeah.
We're at 97,000 and we're heading to 250,000.
Which is crazy because, like, I wanted to go back and check before we talked, but I swear to you, there was like less than 40 while I was growing up, if that. I don't know when all the numbers changed, but it truly was this little small town.
It was, and it's different now, and we have a lot of, we have a lot of the people who show up at City Hall, and not just there, but for meetings. And their complaint is we're not a small town anymore. We've changed too much, but we've grown because that's what cities are designed to do. Oh, I may have lost her, so I'll come back to her here in a second. But sign back in, Shy. But it's there you are. But
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh no, what did I do?
Log back out and log back in. It'll be okay.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Can you
Log
hear
back.
me? Oh, well, where did you go? I can't hear you.
That's okay. Log out. I'm going to text you.
Are you? Hello? I don't know what happened. Oh, okay.
So now she got my text. But a lot of things have changed. So her mother says 22,000 when you were 4 years old, Shy. And I'll repeat that again. But the younger parents, I want to change that language a little bit, because the younger parents of today are the youth of before, and they've watched this transition. So it's interesting that she uses the same language as some of the older generation, beyond my years, some of them, but she uses that same language differently, but it means the same thing. Hey, Shy.
I told you I'm technology stupid. I can't.
Hey, there you go. Are you back? So your mom said 22,000 were here when you were younger, when you were 4 years
Oh,
old.
20. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're at 97,000, and you're 8 years old.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
teasing.
I was like, wait a minute. It didn't seem to grow that much.
Yeah. So, I was telling them when you accidentally got disconnected there, that you've got you use the same language as a lot of the older generation, my age and older, use when they talk about the city. But it's you say it differently. When you grew up, were you expecting it to grow?
No, no.
You didn't
I thought
expect
we
it
were
to
always
grow?
going to be this little podunk town. And honestly, like when I was growing up, I was counting down the days to be 18 so I could pack my bags and go as far away as possible because I never wanted to look back at this little podunk town that I can't get away from. I love it. I don't know. I'm telling you, this place is magic.
And so what do you love about it?
Like, first of all, we have some unique wildlife. So I like the bobcats. I like seeing those I'm going to call them the wrong thing, but they're those big egret things,
Yep.
those big gray ones. I like the cranes. I love those. Um Even the gators here and there that we have. I mean, I like the nature. It is kind of sad in that part that yeah, we're smaller and smaller because it used to be woods. Like all of that stretch on 41 used to just be woods. There was no storage warehouse and this car dealership and all that stuff. Like there was just no man's land between what, is essentially Walmart in Northport all the way down to Port Charlotte near the mall.
So, we were going to have a couple guests with you on this podcast, on this live stream, but um, small business owners, they are both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to do a small business conversation with them in the very near future. We're going to kind of line that all up. I used a word to you today because people take this conversation differently, and this conversation, it's language and it's matches up, and I tend to get myself in hot water because I use a term called vocal minority. And
Okay.
so I got confronted by several people about the term vocal minority. And I would like to inform them that they don't own that word and they
Mm-hmm.
don't own that phrase. The vocal minority can be the same people who are fighting for the mosquitoes and the treatment. And you are vocal, right?
I try. I
Uh,
really try. I went to
you
all
know
the
that,
meetings. I tried.
yeah, I know, but you're in the minority, and you're trying to get credibility built up in that realm with the citizens of Northport. We're 97,000, 50,000 voters, and if they all understood what they need to do, which is one of the hardest things to do in Northport, and it's even harder as a vocal minority organization or group is trying to figure out, which you're one of them. How do you get more people involved? How do you make them pick up the phone? How do you educate them? Um, the vocal minority is also in the child care industry, and they're vocal. They're screaming, we need help, we need more child care, we need these things. Yeah. King's Plastic is jumping on board, and they're doing a project with the YMCA and bringing childcare right to their corner, which is amazing. So we've got King's Plastic doing what they do, and other organizations out there. We have City Hall that's actively working. Vinny Mascaran, we just did this whole thing the other day, and it's trying to build the momentum of all these different projects that lead us where you've already been as a young parent. You've been through that. You had to battle through that. You've got mom and dad, of course, that are doing the thing, but we've got all kinds of small businesses out there that struggle every day because they battle through a lot of these small business. Just I can't even begin to tell you, because like even Ace Hardware, when you grew up, was in Northport.
That was Babes, wasn't it? Or no?
Yeah, Babes.
Wasn't it called something before that too, though?
I think it was, but let's see. Uh-oh, they're starting a drinking game. So
Oh.
they're starting a drinking game with vocal minority. Um, drink, Pete, drink.
I can make you a shirt that says vocal minority. We could all wear them. I
Absolutely, I
mean,
love it. Because here's the thing.
we can make it a real thing.
It is a real thing. That's the whole thing about talking about mosquitoes and even the small businesses. I know that you care about small businesses. The two people that you had me talk to today, that one is a massage therapist, and she's really working hard to keep her small business going, and her boyfriend does the same thing with screening, and we talk about the businesses that start up here in Northport, and there's a lot of new businesses that start here, but it's ironic that both of those two businesses still could drive away to go to work. And people complain about the growth in our city when you look at the Toledo Blade corridor itself. It's changed since you were a kid.
Yeah, it used to only be, I think, like Riley Chase was what it was back in the day, and that was it. There's like 10 different complexes in this area, it feels like now compared to then.
Absolutely. So you've got and gosh, I could use that VW or VM word again with the people that are back in that area, because they feel like they're the vocal minority talking about the construction of all this stuff. But we were at one of the meetings through Northport Ford the other day, and Jason Yarborough said, if you buy up all the land when you get here and you think it's your woods, buy it all up. We can't build on it if you own it. But and what he said was actually factual. This is all changing because the rooftops are coming, and our city is growing, and now we're getting looked at by a lot of different businesses, and the growth there changes. Oh, Chuck English. Oh, hey Chuck, how you doing? There's always a vocal minority, John. Chuck, I've always been telling you this, and this is the ironic thing. Stop taking credit for it. There are a lot of organizations out there, and I never labeled anybody the vocal minority. They actually labeled themselves that. Pity. But it's ironic that Chuck's not one of the vocal minority that I talk about. He knows who it is, though, and Stephanie's out there. She's probably listening too, and she's definitely vocal minority. But that's okay. People need to truly understand, though, that when it comes down to the information of the city and how we attack the information out to the citizens, it's different for you as a younger parent. You're keyed into a totally different side of things, right?
Yeah, but where they're talking about in some types of like pity parties that the city doesn't notify us enough, I do feel like they update their website a lot, as well as like, the city, like it's more than just the city of Northport. I think it's like the fire and police do a pretty darn good job, in my opinion, keeping those updated so that you're not calling them a bunch of times like, hey, what's going on down my block? So
well,
I sometimes think it's too much, like with the hurricane when they're alerting me every 5 seconds. I'm like, I'm already freaking out here. I don't need your help, thanks. But
so is that because you signed up for the alerts?
Oh yeah, I signed up for all the alerts because that was something that mosquito control said. Make sure you sign up for the alerts. Maybe you're not alerted. No, I've been on that alert system for years, sir. Sorry, my vocal minority is showing.
How about your vocal frustration?
Yeah.
And that's okay. So you've got to get more of the younger generation involved. I believe you've got to have that energy that you have there.
Well, like I
Um,
said, youth advisory board. Honestly, that's something I've been thinking about. We need to figure out something along those lines to get the kids back working with the commission and the parks. Or even when I was younger, it was um, take your kid to work day, and they did show each division, and just do that for a day and go like they do with the truck rodeo.
they
That's
do.
awesome
They do.
over there. Yeah, do those kind of things and invite the city to come look. When they see where all their recycling is going and they talk to the people and they have real life conversations like, hey, are these bags actually recyclable? Me and my wife fight about it all the time. Like, give us those platforms too. I enjoy those events, honestly.
So you talked about not really being involved in the social media side of things, but yet you still informed.
Oh yeah,
You
Northport is a word of mouth community. That's is different too, I think, because that's the little small hometown thing. Is like for me, if I got in trouble at school, the whole neighborhood knew it by the time I got home. Anybody involved knew it. That's kind of Northport is still like that.
uh, so do you find that because you brought up the website, um, and so you're not really heavily into social media, but you looked at the website and you did your digging there.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
So you're still trying to stay informed, even though you're on the social media side, not on the social media side of things, but you're getting your information from the source, which is the city's website, right?
Yeah, well, and if there's something I don't understand on that or something sounds a little off to me, you pick up the phone and they will talk to you. As much as I hate calling people like that just out of left field with my crazy questions, that's what they're there for. They are literally like, okay, no question is a stupid question. Go for it.
So we when we do these Northport tours, our city manager Jerome Fletcher talks about the over 100 years worth of management, and we've got more than that when you start to the totaling of staff, and the years that they have in service. Do you feel like they're giving you solid information when you talk to them?
The city staff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not taking it negatively, right?
No, because if they tell me something I think is stupid, I'm like, wow, that is so stupid. How do we undo that? Like, or what, how do we fix that? How do we change that? I mean, they're not offended. They're not the ones who set all that in place. They're like, yes, that is stupid, but I have to answer this question 42 times a day. So if you could do something about it, that would be great.
So what do you do when you run across that? How do you handle it?
I start writing lists. Me, I'm like a pen and paper girl. I'm gonna start writing lists, and I'm just gonna do my research based on those lists. I'll make those phone calls if I need to. You email too. All these people have city official emails. Those are fun too, because they most of the time they're supposed to answer whether they do or not, hit or miss. But again, you have a platform for it. So they have these phone numbers you can call, the emails you can call. They're For me, I don't have a reason for social media in that sense because I don't really need to. For me, the social media is the entertaining part. I think that's where people maybe like the older generation, the younger generation got a little mixed up is that the internet was intended for research initially and possible entertainment as well. And so you're using it for one or the other. You're not That's where the pity parties and the crazy I can't get online because some of these people are too opinionated and you're welcome to your opinion, whatever. I don't care. But as long as you're not trying to hurt people or slander or whatever, it's just get out in the community and do something.
Yeah, there are a lot of groups out there that push narratives, they push ideas, they push some content. They also are biased. They push what they want to push, and it's hard to decipher that. And it's just not local. It's all the
Yeah.
way up to the federal government level. They do that a lot. Um, how do you decipher all of those things? Is it still follow up if you do read something like that that's on social media platform, or somebody says something to you? Is it still something you pick up the phone, or you shoot an email off to confirm?
I've always kind of had that be my principle if I can, to be honest, just as like a day-to-day type thing, whether it's a city thing or I've got an issue with my friend that I've heard through the grapevine. I prefer to go straight to the source. Maybe that's thanks to my lovely mother who, goes to the source all the time. But for me, it is just like you go straight to the source, you ask the uncomfortable question, whether just be prepared for the answer, regardless. And again, if it's a stupid answer, okay, that's stupid. Let's fix it. You know?
It's important. I can't wait until we do this again. We've got about 5 minutes left, but I'm super excited about having the young business owners. Your mom had said something that there's a small business community who will be open this Saturday, but not Saturday after Thanksgiving. Will be selling products that big box stores don't sell. Where's it at? Did she say small business Saturday is really important? Northport has about 65 new small business openings each month. Those are the things I was saying too, is that a lot of these small businesses that we need to embrace here. Man, I got to tell you, I know that Lola Blue is probably somebody well, Jamie, and you talk about Jamie's experience through Lola Blue in her garage and how that all started, and now one of the biggest suppliers in the state of Florida for soap for Whole Foods, if not the biggest, and we have her right here in the city of Northport. And if you want to see what she does and learn about what she does, Lola Blue is a quick phone call or quick stop by on Toledo Blade and ask for Jamie, and she'll blow you out of the water with what she's about. But that is what we embrace here in Northport. We have a large small base community or small business community, and it's amazing to me to walk around town and see box stores here, but know that the mom pop restaurants are here, and a lot of them that when you were young are still here, and still doing their thing. We used to have the one called Stuff-A-Belly, and I'm positive you went there.
Yeah.
And Fred at Alvero's, we still have Alvero's there, and I just talked to Jesus the other day, and he was part of Fred's crew in the kitchen back when Fred was the owner, and it's fun to watch a lot of these small businesses grow and move and shake. And don't forget to sponsor the small businesses, buy from them, check out the shop local on Saturday on Toledo.
Yeah, stay local if you can, for sure.
Yeah, stay local. They're amazing. It's a great organization. So I've got about 2 minutes left, maybe a minute and a half, and I always leave this up to Chuck to take me down the road. But no, I'm teasing, Chuck. I'm messing with you a little bit. And Chuck says that you're as impressive. Basically, you're as impressive as your mom. And that whole thing is.
Thank you.
And I know who Chuck is. So Chuck is an avid listener and also a supporter of local stuff. And if I don't see you, Chuck, happy Thanksgiving.
He's always got some great commentary too, because I'll be watching his comments pop up when you guys are talking, and I'm like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, Chuck's not shy, but did I throw that in there? Chuck's not shy. Shy's not Chuck. So, Cheyenne, I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to getting some shows set up with you in the future, so that we can talk to the younger parents in town. I think it's going to be pivotal to do that. I'll get with you, and maybe we can fire some of that up.
Oh, that'd be cool. And like you said, Northport Forward, send me the information and maybe I'll stop by.
Awesome.
I'll go
Appreciate
give you all my ideas. You'll be like,
Awesome.
why did I invite her to this?
And Chuck says, I'll leave it with this parting word from Mr. Chuck English. He says, you all have a fun, blessed Thanksgiving. P.S. John, don't butter me up. LOL. Listen, I'm going to say this. Hey, Butterball, I'm not buttering you up. No, I'm kidding. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you guys and we'll see you on Friday. Thanks so much for being on, Shy.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. This is John Rawling for WKDW Radio, Real Talk 97.5 San. Send your topics my way, 941-391-4663. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.